Many centuries ago, beyond busy cities and royal palaces, there was a quiet village surrounded by dry fields and tall trees. In that village lived an old carpenter named Yusuf. Every morning before the first light of dawn touched the sky, Yusuf would rise from his thin, worn-out mat. His bones ached with age, yet his heart remained firm in faith. He washed his face with cold water, stood on his prayer mat, and offered his prayers with trembling hands and whispered du'as. After prayer, Yusuf would carefully lift his old toolbox. The tools inside were rusted and blunt, just like his tired hands, but they were all he owned. Step by step, he walked through the village, fixing broken doors, repairing cracked stools, and shaping wood under the burning sun. Some days he earned a few coins, other days nothing at all. Waiting for him at home was his only child, Zainab. Zainab was young, gentle, and dignified. Her eyes carried patience beyond her years. She spent her days stitching clothes and mending fabric, her fingers moving swiftly while her heart prayed silently for her father's health. Whatever little money she earned, she placed in her father's hands without a word. Their house was small and made of mud, with cracks in the walls and a leaking roof. At night, the wind whispered through those cracks, and hunger often shared their meals. Yet inside that fragile home lived something stronger than poverty: contentment and faith. One evening, Yusuf returned home later than usual. His shoulders were heavy, not from work, but from worry. He sat in silence, staring at the floor as if searching for answers in the dust. Zainab noticed immediately. She placed a simple meal before him and asked softly, "Father, why does your face look so burdened today?" Yusuf hesitated. His lips trembled before the truth escaped. "My child, years ago I borrowed money from a harsh moneylender. I truly tried to repay him. But tomorrow the time is over. If I fail, he will take away our freedom." Zainab felt her heart tighten, yet she did not cry. She knelt beside her father, held his rough hands, and said with quiet strength, "Father, do not let fear enter your heart. We have nothing except Allah, and that is enough. He sees our struggles. He will not abandon us." Yusuf looked at his daughter, tears filling his tired eyes. For a moment, his fear softened. Outside, the sun slowly disappeared behind the horizon, and the village sank into silence, unaware that the night carried a test that would change their destiny forever. As the sun climbed higher, its heat pressed down upon the village and the surrounding fields. Yusuf walked slowly along the dusty path, his old toolbox hanging from his hand. Each step felt heavier than the last, yet he did not stop. Work, no matter how little it paid, was the only way to keep hunger away from his home. That day, Yusuf was called to repair woodwork at a large estate on the edge of the village. The walls were tall, the gates strong, and the courtyard wide, far grander than anything Yusuf had ever owned. He stepped inside with humility, lowering his gaze, grateful for the chance to earn a few coins. He worked carefully, as he always did. His hands, though weak with age, moved with honesty and skill. He repaired what was broken, smoothing rough edges, tightening loose joints, never cutting corners. Sweat soaked his clothes, but his heart remained calm. Suddenly, harsh voices filled the courtyard. Yusuf was accused of stealing. A valuable item, something he had never seen, was held up as proof. Fingers pointed at him, words flew like arrows. Yusuf stood frozen, confusion clouding his face. He spoke softly, swearing by Allah that he was innocent, that he had only come to work. No one listened. They searched his clothes and his toolbox. Though nothing of value was found, the suspicion did not fade. His words carried no weight against wealth and power. He was ordered to leave, his payment denied, his dignity wounded. Yusuf walked away under the burning sun, shame heavy on his shoulders. Each step back towards the village felt longer than the last. Yet he did not curse, nor did he raise his voice. Instead, he whispered prayers, asking Allah for patience and justice. By the time he reached home, the day was fading. Inside the small, humble house, his daughter Zainab waited. Seeing her father's tired face, she said nothing at first. She simply brought him a small bowl of food and placed it gently in his hands. Her eyes held worry, but also love. Yusuf ate slowly. Then he told her everything. Zainab listened in silence. Her heart burned with pain, but she did not speak in anger. Allah sees all, father, she said quietly. No injustice lasts forever. That night, Yusuf lay awake on his thin mat. His body ached, his reputation had been stained, and his future felt uncertain. Yet, in the darkness, his faith did not break. He placed his trust where it had always been, not in people, not in wealth, but in Allah alone. Before dawn, the village lay wrapped in silence. The sky was still dark when Yusuf rose from his mat. His body felt weaker than ever, yet his heart was steady. He washed, prayed, and remained seated long after, his palms raised, whispering words only Allah could hear. He asked for no revenge, no riches, only truth and protection for his daughter. As the first light touched the horizon, Yusuf stepped outside. The air was cool, carrying the promise of a new day. He took his toolbox and walked towards the village square, not knowing why, only that his heart told him to go. That same morning, trouble stirred at the grand estate. The missing item, the one Yusuf had been accused of stealing, was found hidden inside the sleeve of a trusted servant. Fear loosened his tongue, and the truth spilled out. The accusation had been false, the injustice deliberate. News spread quickly, racing through the village like fire through dry grass. By mid-morning, Yusuf was summoned again, this time not as a suspect, but as a wronged man. He entered the courtyard with the same humility as before, his eyes lowered, his steps calm. The wealthy man who had accused him now stood uneasy, his pride shaken. In front of witnesses, the truth was declared. Yusuf was innocent. Silence followed, heavy, uncomfortable silence. Then apologies came, hurried and hollow. Coins were offered in excess, as if gold could erase humiliation. Yusuf accepted only what he was owed, nothing more. I came to work, not to be honored and not to be shamed. The crowd watched as he turned away, dignity untouched. When Yusuf returned home, Zainab met him at the door. One look at his face told her everything. Relief flooded her eyes. She embraced her father, holding him as if she might never let go. For the first time in many days, they both smiled. In the weeks that followed, word of Yusuf's patience and honesty spread beyond the village. People sought him out, not only for his skill, but for his character. Work became steady. Their home grew warmer, not with wealth, but with peace. One evening, as the sun set behind the trees, Yusuf sat outside with Zainab. The sky burned gold and amber, and birds returned to their nests. "Father," Zainab said softly, "why didn't you fight back when they accused you?" Yusuf looked at the sky and smiled. Because truth does not need shouting. It waits, and Allah never forgets. The wind rustled the trees, the village settled into quiet, and in that stillness it was clear. Those who remain patient are never abandoned. Those who trust Allah are never alone. And injustice, no matter how loud, always falls silent in the end.